In three, two, one. Hi, everybody. Due to some technical difficulties at PAX, we're kind of going a little rogue with this. So you're gonna see some B-roll on the screen, and my beautiful face, and this other human who happens to be in this Discord call is beautiful face. Homie, why don't you introduce yourself for the crowd?
Hello, I'm Jimmy. I'm the designer, creator, illustrator, one man band, whatever you want to call it, for Hero Tales of the Tomes.
Excellent. And aside from re-recording audio that got absolutely borked at PAX Unplugged, what are we here to talk about today, my friend?
I think we're here to talk about Hero and the upcoming expansion, Reign of the Onyx King, as well as whatever else I have in store. So I think you're going to kind of lead this one. Let me know what you want to talk about.
Fantastic. So, why don't you give us just a brief synopsis of Reign of the Onyx King?
Sure. So Reign of the Onyx King is going to be an upcoming expansion for Hero. Something I'm really excited about is that the expansion structure is going to be a little bit different going forward than what I originally intended. So originally when I was working on it, I was like, hey, let's just make an expansion, kind of your run of the mill, kind of add extra 50 cards. And then I was thinking about it, and I was like, 3, 4 expansions on the line, the deck's going to be 500 cards, and no one's going to want to play with this tower of cards near them. So instead, the expansion is going to be fully standalone, which I'm very excited about. So people can have it be their first time thing. It can be a secondary thing. You can combine it with all the cards from the base game. All the heroes work with everything. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to have a dark medieval fantasy setting, and everyone teams up against the Onyx King, trying to take him down in a asymmetrical game mode of like one versus everybody battle.
Yeah, and we've actually been playtesting quite a bit. Unfortunately, some people don't like to fill out their post-game surveys. For those of you in the Shield Wall that are listening, fill out those fucking surveys. I drop it like 150 times in the chat when we do it. Fill them out. I can't be the only one giving Jimmy feedback over here, okay?
Yeah, I need those. They help me out a lot. Trust
Hey,
me.
let's help him make a better game. Not that he's making a bad game right now, because we've been playing the metric fuck ton out of it. But yeah, let's just make his job easier. Like he said earlier, he's a one man band. Let's just help him out. Um,
Appreciate it.
but nevertheless, so what made you decide to go in the direction of kind of a cooperative gameplay mode as opposed to just kind of like how Magic just has an additional expansion, new cards, new mechanics?
It's funny because like I get asked all the time, like, "Hey, can I play this game? Cooperative? Can I play it solo?" And like immediately, I was thinking of different game modes for the game, and like I'm already making new cards for it, and like I think free for all and competitive is like where my heart lies. It's like how I grew up and what I'm used to doing. But it definitely like opened my eyes to a lot of different things that I think the game could very easily adapt to and have like a great um, like time with. So like I had a lot of fun coming up with this like boss battle mode to get like kind of splash it in a little bit of the co-op thing, but still semi-competitive. And I'm working on things down the line for like fully cooperative modes and like solo play slash like a roguelike sort of experience. So really enjoying like the idea of instead of treating this as, hey, here's just new cards every couple years and just play with them, but it being like different modes and that whole idea of, play it your way, whatever story you want to tell, whatever kind of game you want to start with, you can. And if you just love the games that I create, play all of them and like use them however you want and combine them. And that's like the thing I'm really excited to see.
Amen to that, my friend. I mean, one of the greatest things that I've definitely enjoyed about playing Reign of the Onyx King so far, is actually just mingling some of the older cards in with it.
Yeah.
And for lack of a better term, you don't need a Darren in the squad, but it definitely makes the job a lot easier.
Yeah. And it's this funny thing, like it's like I was doing a game recently with like my brother and my sister-in-law, and I was playing Lawamai, but we were playing uh like Scatasia, Lawamai, and then a new hero you guys haven't seen yet. That's like a down the line alpha thing. And it was funny how I was like, I did design Lawamai with the intention to like help you be able to fight Scatasia because he can like really shield all your companions and stuff. So it's funny how like they've even worked this backwards compatible way, like just kind of as we've been building it as well too. So I do think things mesh really well together no matter how you're combining.
Now, was that kind of like an intentional design thing, like while you were thinking of new mechanics for Reign of the Onyx King, as far as like actually mingling and meshing well with the original base game? or was it a lot of I want to add this new mechanic and oh shit, this actually works really well with this other thing?
It definitely was because I had originally designed a hero like Laomai before I had slotted it into what Reign of the Honest King was. Um, like, because I've had so many ideas back and forth. Like originally, the tyrant would sort of just be a title that any hero could wear, but I felt that it worked a lot better for balance when I designed a hero specifically for this boss battle mode. And then just all the heroes that kind of sprang about with that. One of my big lessons that I learned after making the Lost Heroics pack was I designed Lost Heroics as, from my perspective, an answer to the heroes in the base game to help like even everything out a little bit better. But what I noticed is that people were like, cool, they got it. And they immediately played those three heroes against each other. And I don't think that like Briar, Gwendolyn, and Jugalak have interesting things that they're doing in interaction with each other. I don't think that they don't work, but they're not like in that sort of like rock paper scissors kind of thing that I like when you're playing heroes like specifically designed around each other. And that's what I've really enjoyed with this new idea for Indiana's King and everything is making it work this way. The heroes work. I have all of that knowledge from the base game. I know what kind of things I want the heroes to be able to answer and interact with. But as good as these three new heroes work on a team, they also play really well against each other too in the same sort of rock paper scissors format. Is focusing on healing, but he can't really do much against like Sarah's just like relentless attacks. But Laoma, on the other hand, has lots of armor to protect him against that, but he can't really do anything to bring down Ias's companions or anything like that. So they have this sort of rock paper scissors thing built in if you just like grab it out of the box and play free for all right out of the way as well. So
Nice. Now, as far, I mean, you've been developing Hero Tales of the Tomes for a hot second now.
mhm.
In the time that you've spent slaving away at making this game for all of us to enjoy, what would you say has been your favorite part of developing Hero and and Reign of the Onyx King?
My favorite thing is just watching everyone play. Like as much as I like playing the game, I'm bad because everyone focuses me first because they're like, "Oh, he's the creator, gotta kill him." But also, I find that I am not good at reacting to things appropriately because I'm usually just so engrossed with watching everyone play. But it's been so awesome seeing how much everyone has latched on to the co-op nature of Reign of the Onyx King and how you get to kind of collaborate with your friends and your teammates and like have these more nuanced strategies as you're like combining with other people's resources. It's been like really, really great, and that's what I've enjoyed the most about it. So, as apprehensive as I was at first about something like fully co-op, I think this has made me really excited to jump into that next and see what I can.
That's definitely something that I'm very excited for. And like as soon as for those of you that don't know, Jimmy and I kind of go back a couple of years now. I literally he grabbed my attention at PAX Unplugged a couple of years back, and I was just like tired, and I was like, I have like $40 in my pocket, and I just want a small game I can throw in my backpack that even if I'm not going to a convention with Magic nerds, I can still sit down and play with them, but also have something that my Magic nerds that are rules lawyers and a half and do nothing but table politics all night
Mhm.
can still enjoy. And he was just like, "I got you," and I'm like, "Yeah, you most certainly do. Here's my money. Let's go. All right." And we literally had it has not left my back. I had it in my backpack at PAX, even though
Nice.
I didn't even have a hotel room to play it in. I was just like, just in case, it's here. And there's one in the games library at PAX, and we can play it. It's fine. But speaking of table politics, that's the one thing that I've actually really liked about Reign of the Onyx King, because I'll introduce people with just the base game if they haven't played already, just to get their feet wet in it, get the base rules and such, and then we'll play like a free for all match, and people get grudges. It happens, especially
Of
for those
course.
of you that are listening to this or watching it that play Magic the Gathering or any other card game that happens to have a free for all table format. There's gonna be grudges and people are gonna feel ganged up on. Reign of the Onyx King is such a nice thing to bust out after that. If you're having just a gaming session for the night and you have another 3 or 4 hours at least, because one person's gonna be the Onyx King and then you're just gonna go around from there. But it gives such a nice opportunity to say, like, you know what? That guy was the dick when we were just playing free for all. We're gonna gang up on him now, and he's gonna play the king. All right, cool. And even when you're playing it though, it just the way that the cards interact with each other and just the relaxed nature of things because I think it has to deal with a lot that everybody's playing collaboratively from the same deck of cards too, so it's not like, oh well, this guy just blew 3 paychecks on a magic deck, so yeah, he's what, mopping the table with us, whatever. You don't have that with Hero at all,
Yeah.
and you get
That's always
some.
been my intention with it is, like, I wanted it to have that feeling of, anyone can come back, like, I think there is, like, all card games naturally have, like, RNG to them, you're drawing from a random deck of cards, but I like that it's this whole thing of, like, we're gonna remove that peripheral element of who has the biggest wallet, and we're all just gonna play, like, a fun competitive game, you know?
Yeah, as my favorite saying goes in Magic, the most powerful card is the credit card.
Yep.
But that's the other thing too about Hero is like the name speaks for itself. Like I've played so many games that have just gone on for too long, but we're just so engrossed with how everything resolves itself at the end of the game that we don't care that we played a game that lasted like 2.5 hours. But there's been so many just random big brain hero moments that like honestly almost feel like that climax of a D&D campaign for us here. And
Yeah.
it's actually gotten a lot of my friends and people in the Shield Wall community into playing tabletop RPGs even. So like I don't know if you know this, but your card game has actually even been a gateway drug into tabletop role playing
No,
for
that's
people.
that's awesome because, like, I've noticed that as well. Like, I DM for a couple campaigns, and the Honest King is that same kind of energy as being the DM. You're like leaning into it. You are the adversary. You have to be okay with watching everyone strategize against you and plot your demise. And like, it's a thing that I really enjoy as a DM myself. Uh, one of the current campaigns I'm running is in the hero universe and is using elements of hero and stuff like that. So I definitely lean into that as well. Trust me.
Hey, yo, Hero tabletop RPG system when? Or at least a D&D module? Hello?
Yeah, trust me. I'm thinking about it. Don't worry.
You need to do more than think about it, because I have a credit card sitting in front of me, and it's itchy to get swiped, okay? So as far as Reign of the Onyx King is concerned, when are we? You guys might see some of the preview doodle cards and such on the table right now if I edit my B-roll properly here. But what are we looking at in terms of when the Kickstarter's going up, when we're going live with this?
Yeah, so I'm looking on the Kickstarter. I want to do it late January, early February. I've got everything kind of teeing up for that. And then as far as release, it's really just going to depend on how much we can raise during the Kickstarter. As I'm sure people are familiar with the base game, I did all of the illustration myself. But with Reign of the Honest King, I've done so much. Like the vision of the design has changed so much that I haven't jumped into doing all of the finalized art yet. I have the heroes that I'm kind of finishing the last touches on, and then we'll see how much we can raise, if I can hire other artists for it, if I have to do it all myself, and that'll kind of determine the timeline of when people can get their hands on it once we start.
Now, since we mentioned the Kickstarter, you already know where I'm heading with this. Are we getting the goddamn doodle decks?
100%. I can
Yes!
guarantee it. The Doodle Tech has been long requested, and I can deny it no longer. So there will definitely be an option to add on a Doodle Deck for the expansion. Not to worry.
It literally got to the point that we started just doodling on blanked out cards that I made in Tabletop Simulator for the base game, even because we're just like, we need goofy art. That's what we
I still
need.
have those files too. I mean, that's something I could try and put together. I have all
Honestly,
those
make
old
it a,
Doodle
make it a
files.
Kickstarter bonus. Make it like an all-in bonus where you get a doodle deck for the base game too. I don't know if you
Yeah.
can set all that up in time for January, but if you can, awesome. If not, do another
Well,
run
I can
after that.
promise Reign of the Onyx King. Don't worry. I can promise that at the minimum. So.
Okay, well, like Q2, Q3, we need like a second Kickstarter of like, hey, I'm doing a second edition of Hero, and here's the doodle deck.
Yeah.
All right, so cool, great, thanks, good talk. Now this was a question we asked on the floor, and I definitely want to get back in the audio here. Out of the base game, what would you say is your favorite card in Hero?
Favorite card. You asked me this again. I'm gonna say I know I said Adept Pyromancer on the floor. I'm also gonna say Rebound is one of my favorite cards. I think that leads to some of the most exciting moments in the games, uh, and is one of the ones that I find really exciting whenever it happens in the game.
I cannot keep a straight face anytime I draw Pyromancer in a game. It's just instantly like, okay, we're good now. No matter what situation we're in, we'll be okay in like a couple turns. It's fine.
Yeah.
Also, post editing Pip, can you just make sure you get pictures of those cards up on the screen so people know what the hell we're talking about? And if you haven't played Hero, god damn it, get on it, okay? Like you don't even, technically speaking, you can just go and play test Reign of the Onyx King and get a taste of the game, and then go buy the base game as well. And then in January, get in on the Kickstarter. Because honestly, if you like cardboard rectangles, all right, of any kind. Doesn't even matter what kind. If you like cardboard rectangles, you need this game on your shelf. If you play it once, I swear that is going to be the only game you play the rest of the night. It has been absolutely so much fun, and I'm not just saying that because Jimmy and I have a bit of an interesting friendship at this point, being locals to one another and just having a good chat, and his game being one of the few things that is kind of like brought my community of the Shield Wall together off stream. So, but it's seriously, it's a good way to. It's also a good off ramp for people that are tired of spending exorbitant amounts of money on collectible card games. And he's not gonna like me saying this, but there is a collectible aspect to it. You can even do what I did because somebody didn't make a box big enough to fit the game sleeved, and I'm obsessed with keeping my rectangles in good condition. So we sleeved the game. Um, there is, a nice thing of you can still do the buy your fancy deck boxes and stuff, but it's just you only need one now, so it's still pretty
Well,
cool.
also with the second edition, that does fit the game fully. So
Indeed, it does. Indeed, it does. Um, Also, if you guys need sleeves for your hero cards, the oversized Magic the Gathering sleeves for commanders, it fits those. And also, if you get the sealable sleeves for your PGA and BGS graded cards, that's another good way to sleeve them because then they're like totally sleeved up and like sealed off from everything. So if you get people grubby fingers and you want to keep your cards nice, uh, they're like $3 for like 100 pack, and I don't think Jimmy even has 100 heroes. I mean, he might, but I don't even think there's 100 heroes in his brain right now for the game.
probably close, honestly.
All right, so we'll come back to that. All right, listen, by like 2030, I'm expecting to have just an entire shelf of hero expansions, and I don't care what happens to make it happen. If I got to get in on this myself and be a developer for this game, I'm doing it.
Let's do it,
Okay.
man.
So if you need
We'll
it,
make
if
it
you need a
happen.
hand at any point in time for more than play testing, I definitely do not mind biting off another project that is too big for me to chew. But god damn it, I'll get my feet wet in it because you've been absolutely amazing to work with. And just getting the word out for your game has been more than a pleasure. But is there anything else you'd like to tell the viewers slash listeners at home about you, your company, the game, etc., that we might not have touched on?
Just want to say I appreciate it, Pip. You've always been a great supporter of the game and a fan, and I'm looking forward to everyone checking out the Onyx King and let me know what they think. So, fans are why I do this. So, I hope you enjoy them.
Jimmy, thank you so much for your time. You have a good one. All right.
Thanks so much, Pip. You too.